show. Let us begin our day with a small prayer. You may follow me if you wish. If not, I don't judge. But it begins like this, people. Never put your hands close together because it makes you look like a slave. And definitely not like this. When 8,000 and, 158 numbers know your weight size. But more so in humiliation. Thank God for my early rising in the morning and great health. Also thank God for the opportunities he places before me, so therefore I may succeed at those at his bequest and his bequest only. Also thank God for allowing me to help people who cannot help themselves and show that self-reliance does work. But more so to show that we have a little compassion towards our enemies who do need a patata and a cooler from time to time. Yeshua Jesus Christ into the 227th era through the throne of Jah himself, King Haile Selassie, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari. And now, my peoples, my good morning peoples, everybody from YouTube all the way around to Facebook, the dragon of the mountain is awoke. And of course, residents, dissidents, constitutionalists, rioters, and revolutionaries around the world, welcome to the KTNG Morning Show! Yeah, already. Good morning, Dazo Eto. Yes, he is going to be in India, February 16th to 17th, and he's going to be doing his thing, so we're giving him much props on that. Welcome to the KTNG Morning Show, first man on deck. Good morning to everybody. This is the KTNG Morning Show. And as always, I am your host with the most, the G-T-R-T-I-T-T-Z-Z-S-T, all the way on top of the mountain, underneath the freeway, the freak on the peak who's about to speak. And if you open up your mind, I got something for you for the rest of the week. Well, pertaining to this day. Anyway, and I must say this all the time, I read the news here, and I subjugate it with a lot of opinion, and of course, maybe in one or twice, like out-of-the-box solution, something that may be crazy enough that might work, okay? But these are socio-political commentaries that I make, and the satire that I give about what we do here in this great country of ours. It seems to be swimming in its own quagmire of garbage. So, let's have some fun. Now, there are two uproars that I have. There are two uproars. Christine! Figello, Emmerich, good morning. Yes, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm waving to everybody. I'm simulcast both on YouTube as well as Facebook. So if you're on YouTube, come on in. Hold up. I got to make sure you guys can join the conversation first of all. That's one thing. That's one thing. If I can. Okay, I don't know where. What did I do with this? Oh, great. Okay, so let's go back to wham. There we go. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, obviously this is okay. I guess my live chat is like. Let me see. Let's get this bad boy on here. I'm supposed to have this done already, but that didn't happen. Nigel Daring, yes, people. He is also holding. He's also got a book going for Rastafarian poetry. Very, 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 very nice book. So please, if you can, buy one today. I want to thank the people who essentially bought, some copies of my book here, The Iron Tree. But we'll get to that in a minute and so forth during the halfway point. In the meantime, let's get into the news. Right about now, I'm all the way out here 12.5 miles away from what is known as NORAD. So that puts me right there in Colorado Springs along with Nikola Tesla's house. So let's see where we go with today's embarrassments that are happening in this country that I love to, basically just, just have a blast with. Because obviously this thing is not even working. Okay, so I guess the live chat is just dead here? I don't know. Daniel Benitez, good morning, my brethren. Good morning. So, if anything, join the conversation, people. I'm out here in about, an inch worth of snow, and it's 18 degrees. And, of course, the winds are flying out of here at 19 miles an hour, north by northwest. Wasn't that a movie? I don't know. Anyway, let's see what our dictator's been doing. And the avalanche that is now falling from down the hill, that makes us look, I would guess, superlative. Anyway, as we know, from Axios. I'm gonna start it from here because we're gonna slap the crap out of cheeseburger real quick. Now, of course, you know who I call cheeseburger. Oh yes, the apricot that looks like a bagged up fart, the orange potato that wants to get away from NATO, the PP man, the man with the short hands and the mushroom dick. You know him very quick as the master of disaster and distraction and redaction. And of course, your commander in beef and mess, Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger, and you need one of these, cat. You need one of these. Bow. I mean, come on, man. Come on. How much idiocy can we actually, go through? And I was thinking about that when I revamped my efforts and time yesterday by watching the film Idiocracy. The one where, I guess Terry, whatever his name is, and the whole crew there, where the government was completely stupid and only one guy could grow weed or marijuana, I don't know, whatever it was. But it showed that the American population became stupid. Well, you don't have to go far for that. And I'm going to show you this, okay? Now, first and foremost, I have to fact check this real quick. Okay, everybody's screaming and hollering about those little white boys from the, Covington Catholic High School, about them, insulting, say, a Native American Vietnam veteran. Okay, there were 3 groups out there. My question is this: who in the hell, scheduled everybody to show up? I mean, was it a free-for-all or what? But then again, these guys got a track record. Because in the same context, they were also in a viral video that shows students from Covington Catholic High School during a basketball game to be black body paint and yelling at a black player during a basketball game that also went viral. So for those who want to sit up there, Raymond Davis, what's going? Okay. For those who want to sit there and say, well, we're going to give these guys a pass, they wrote a letter. No, this is a system of activity. There's a pattern. And if anybody out there that's a white Catholic right about now, you are cringing at the fact, especially in Kentucky. Okay? Isn't that Mitchell McConnell's home state or something like that? Isn't that something like that? I mean, come on. It doesn't fall far from the river of hate itself. I mean, come on. Evil is bone deep with this one. So, Axios, people. And I tell you my sources of where I'm getting all this stuff. Now, keep in mind, none of these views that I give up here and so forth are pretty much late. Okay? This is what everybody else is thinking. If you're not on the same planet, thinking about this, then in many cases, maybe I should help you think with this. Cheeseburger has made more than 8,000 false claims since taking office. Let's hear it for the banana on the bottom. Okay. So far, Cheeseburger has made 8,158 false or misleading claims in his first 2 years of office, per the Washington Post fact checker. Boy, oh boy, that Pinocchio girl nose gets longer and longer and longer. But why? Why continue to lie? Why continue to hire people to lie for you? Why continue to hire loyalty, pay for loyalty, okay? When everybody's pretty much stuck following this jackass, all right? So more than 6,000 of those were in his second year. The Post notes that Cheeseburger's averaged nearly 5.6 false or misleading claims a day in his first year. But he hit nearly 16.5 a day in his second year. Almost tripled the pace. So, again, shit doesn't get no higher than what you stack it in. And believe me, there's no water in the toilet bowl for it at all. Okay, so, but then, we got to look at some of the crap that Cheeseburger's already gotten himself into. For real, people. For real. It is just not safe out there to be a cheeseburger. I'm serious. I mean, come on. What is he thinking? It's the 32nd day of the shutdown. How's that working out for everybody? There's rumors in the mill right about now that says that Section 8 may be cut off by February 8th of this year. What's next? Social Security? To even go that far would impede not only the progress. Yes, Eva, smiles around. All righty. All right. The most happiest lady I've ever seen in my life. I love it. I love it. Anyway, what we're talking about here is the virus that extends from Cheeseburger around the world. And what better place than the reason why Americans right now are still paying taxes. And we're paying taxes to a welfare state. But when it comes to double dipping, it does not make no sense. And Cheeseburger is doing double dipping on this issue right here from the Daily Beast. Now Cheeseburger shutdown threatens Israel's security. Now remember, people, this is the same jackass who went over to Israel and said Jerusalem is the state of Israel and the Palestinians don't have no home. How is it that you are funding America? How is it that you are funding, okay, Israel and Palestine at the same time? What's the play? Find out. From the Daily Beast. For over a decade, the strongest pillar of stability in the volatile Israeli-Palestinian conflict has been the close cooperation between the Israeli military and the Palestinian Authority security forces, who work together to maintain order to keep terrorists in check on the West Bank. There are no terrorists on the West Bank. These are just simple Palestinians trying to get back their homeland. But you call them terrorists, right? You lump them in there with the same bunch of innocent people like Syrians who we are bombing. So we got our dirty little fingers in everything right about now, right? Right. There you go. That's what I give it a. American trained, equipped, and funded looks like they may be the latest casualties of the Cheeseburger government shutdown. Okay, anyway. U.S. legislation passed by Congress last year set to go into effect at the end of the month will effectively end all remaining aid to the Palestinian Authority, including the security forces, will also cut the funding for small American missions in Jerusalem, headed by a U.S. three-star general that helps coordinate ties between Palestinian forces and the Israeli army. Okay, so this is known as the Anti-Terrorism Clarification Act. And it was a little notice that when it was passed in October and signed into law by Cheeseburger himself, its genesis stemmed from the civil suits brought by against the PA, or Palestinian Liberation Organization, PLO style, Buddha monks with the L, PLO style, all right, in U.S. courts by families of terror victims alleging that official Palestinian facilitation and culpability. In at least 2 cases, the families won massive judgments totaling nearly $600 million in damages, yet appeals vacated the decisions on the grounds that U.S. courts lacked jurisdictions entered Congress. ATCA states that the defendant shall deem to have consent or to personal jurisdiction if accepted any forms of assistance, however provided from the United States government, in which we are losing money. The reason why I read that part before I read this part is because the potential amendments themselves to the law that would allow this aid to continue are now on hold due to the shutdown. 2 sources familiar with the issue told the Daily Beast the atmosphere of confrontation and crisis in Washington is such the orders of business and fixing bad legislation to slip into the wayside. To make matters worse, separate Israeli law withholding a major portion of the Palestinian budget will also affect at the end of the month, further straining the cash-strapped PA government and possibly tipping the Gaza Strip into war. Guidance forever. Okay, come on, people. Come on. We're giving money from the United States to Israel. We're giving money to the Palestinian Authority. We're helping people kill people. If this is something, I mean, come on. They do this in prison. Okay, they do this in prison, where the white Aryan bunch gets the blacks and Latinos to fight against each other so that way they can have the spoils of war. Really. And you keep falling for it every single time. Did you not know that Rick James beat up some Aryan Brotherhood fool in prison? Good. Whoop his ass. Let's move on. Because this tells you right then and there, people, that when you got some crap going on like this, okay, it does not make sense. It does not make sense. Cheeseburger is effectively affected not only our domestic problems here, in which he has riled up a base of 65 million idiots. Most of them can't even read or write, but they know how to press a button to vote, as long as it says his name. And they probably rehearsed it about 3 months before they went out to vote. What's his name, darling? What's his name? Okay? It's kind of sad, though. I mean, it really is sad. It's total sad, especially when there's all kinds of subterfuge underneath it. Now, granted, that most people don't even want to see it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to be bothered with it and everything. But this all stems from what we do here, okay? Let me give you some more stuff here, okay? Where is this damn thing at? I swear. It is, oh, I'm going to get to that in a minute. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Trust. I found some really damaging stuff, okay? Found some really damaging stuff, but I'm going to go to this story here about Israel again. Okay, how Zionists are basically selling themselves short, if not selling out the Palestinians. Now, the crap that goes on, the humanitarian crisis that, needless to say, the United States has caused in Yemen is about to happen in Israel. Now, because we got Israel and we got Palestinians fighting against each other. Now, not a lot of people don't understand this tactic, but sell out in the midst of everything, who's basically getting kickbacks from the United States government from out of our taxes. You get this. Reuters. Israel's Arabs to embrace Netanyahu's anti-Arab slogan in election. Now, if you've fallen off of Facebook or a Facebook connection, remember you can always get here on YouTube. Hit that like and subscribe button while you're here and so forth, so that way we know that you came by. Leave a comment. I'll talk about those later. Reuters. Israel's Arab lawmakers plan to commandeer Prime Minister Netanyahu, not you, okay? The chocolate milk that spoiled, okay? Claimed in the last election that Arabs were heading to the polls in droves to encourage their own voters in April's election, which is coming around. Everything's coming around the corner. Now, let's look at this timeline here. In February, Robert Mueller got to pull his crap together. In March, food stamps could be gone and Section 8 could be wiped out. In April, Netanyahu, knowing that our country is looking like crap right about now, is going to have the United States pay for this. Here's how. Netanyahu's election day message to mobilize his right-wing voter base became a defining moment in the 2015 election, drawing criticism and accusations of racism across the globe. Netanyahu, who won the election, later apologized. That's a little, I mean, come on. You should have apologized ahead of time, dude. Pay it forward. Okay, now, Ahmad Odeh, head of the Arab Joint List Party, AJL, not the ADL, for all of you who are out there, shaking in your boots right about now. Party said that he plans to use Netanyahu's phrase, which has become an iconic and sometimes iconic part of the language in Israel, to whip up turnout amongst the Arab minority in the April 9th vote. Quote unquote, Arabs are not going to forget Netanyahu's incitement. Odeh told Reuters Netanyahu benefited from the slogan the first time around. Now it's our turn to benefit. Ooh, fight racism with racism. I mean, what do you got? You got a whole big old pot full of racism. Don't worry, people on Facebook, if you join the conversation and for some reason there's connection problems and everything, keep in mind I'm also on YouTube as well. Okay, and that's usually on the KTNG morning show. You'll find it. Probably one of those things that's live right about now. Anyway, the party will run slogans in Arabic and Hebrew, says Odeh, whose faction holds about 13 of the 120 Knesset seats. 13 out of 120 is not great odds, but it's something to start with. Now, Israel's Arab citizens, many of whom identify as Palestinian, comprise mainly descendants of the Palestinians who remain in their homes, who are internally displaced after the 1948 Arab-Jewish war that surrounded Israel's creation. So, no. I don't care if you're an Israeli Jew. That land did not belong to you, okay? You can sit up and go through your own Torah. All right, you can go through the Bible, the 5 books of Zen, and once you read them shits again. Split people. Think about it. Now, what does this mean? What does this mean? Because we now have an alt-right, right-wing dictatorship spell that's happening around the world, to where dictators and strongmen are idolized and eulogized, and most importantly, they're worshipped. You punish the poor in order to make yourself look good. Well, who's suffering now? 32 of the shutdown. How is that working for you? How is that middle class when you are getting squeezed? A dry orange rind. Yet still, you hold faith. Even some of Cheeseburger's supporters are basically saying that yes, Cheeseburger does own up to the shutdown, and he's giving up a whole bunch of bogus ideology of why he should have money for that damn wall. It's pretty simple, people. He needs half part of that money to put in his pocket. He doesn't care about the emoluments clause. He doesn't care about his foundation. He doesn't care about what's waiting for him once he gets out of office. If America is still stupid enough to vote for him to put his ass back in there for a second term, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Because if you do, it will be to the fact that one, the Koch brothers got you by the nuts and the pussies, all right, all the way around. Two, you are systemically, inherently ignorant to the amount of corporate and ecological and environmental racism that happens in your hoods. And you are not attacking the source of the problem. Let me give you something here. USA Today, snowfall out. Airlines cancel more than 4,600 flights since Friday. Okay. Now, of course, everybody's saying it's the weather. Cheeseburger just blows off climate change like there's no, I mean, come on, we've had worse in 57, blah, blah, blah. But when the patterns of the weather itself changes, but when the axis of the does rotate in a different axis right about now, makes weather look a little bit, I don't know, crappy? Crappy? Come on. In the last 40 some odd years, there's never been snow that comes through on February or at the end of January. Usually either got it in November, December, or January. If you did not, February was pretty cool. It was like the marking of spring. Now we're walking into, say, like bad weather patterns because we got one idiot who wouldn't sit down at the conference for climate change. Thinks he knows every damn thing. How does an idiot know every damn thing when they're not doing anything prosperous for this country at all except for siding with racist activities? Come on, people. Okay, flight schedules appear to be on the rebound Monday after a rough weekend of air travel. Nationwide, about 315 flights have been canceled Monday and another 1,130 delayed as of 10 a.m. Monday's count comes after a spike of cancellations that has snarled flights since Friday from the Great Plains and the Midwest to the Northeast and Canada since Friday. Not to mention that your TSA workers are leaving in droves to pay their rent because this Friday they are not getting paid, people. No. The government is holding hostage people's lives. DACA recipients, they're having their livelihood bargained. And that's kind of sad, really. It's kind of sad. It lets you know right then and there that not only does he not care about you, he doesn't care about your family, he doesn't care about your relatives, but some the relatives outside that may be conservative and or Republican don't care about what you are going through. Oh, they'll be there in spirit, his family. Yeah, okay, we're down for this crap. We're making America stronger. No. What you're doing is you're making America angrier. Quite frankly, that's all he's been able to do since day one. Come on, 8,158 lies is nothing. Come on, we can always look past that. We can always look past the fact that the devil is sitting right there in the White House or Hamburger Haven. Come on, people. I thought we were smarter than that. Obviously not. Remember, this is the man who came up with an immigration policy, not a law, policy, that would benefit America first. There's a problem with that. NBC News, U.S. immigration systems approved thousands of child marriages in past decade. Wow. Not only is there pedophilia going on in the White House, but now we have it extended all the way into the immigration system. Allow it. We allow it. When Freddie Reese took on stopping child marriages in the United States, she thought the issue would be disturbing enough for lawmakers to legislate an immediate fix. She started her organization Unchained at Last in 2011 to push to end the child and forced marriages after defying and then escaping her insular religious community, which she says forced her to wed a violent man at the age of 19. Heart-wrenching tales from women and girls from around the country poured into the force of arranged child marriages, leaving Reese overwhelmed but determined. But Reese said her concerns fell on deaf ears when she took the issue to lawmakers. White lawmakers. Quote unquote, I thought legislators were going to give me a hug and give me a high five when we were all going to go home happy. Since then, however, loopholes in the federal immigration law and lack of of action. Lack of action, people. Okay? At the state level, have allowed the practice to continue. Now lawmakers have revealed the extent to which the United States immigration system unintentionally encourages child marriages. The Senate Homeland Security Committee report released last week says the federal government approved thousands of requests by men to bring child brides or fiancés into the United States over the past decade. There's a place for that. It's called Utah, where Mormons, I feel sorry for you, are actually doing that. I mean, come on. One big family? Sure. Let's practice religious legal polygamy while we're at it. Okay? But yet still we'll condone it in, say, like, other religions like Islam. Very fine. Very fine people you are, indeed. So between 2007 and 2017, okay, the USCIS approved more than 5,500 petitions by adults to bring minor spouses or fiancés to the United States and nearly 3,000 approvals for minors trying to bring older spouses or fiancés, according to the Senate report. Girls were the minors in 95% of the case, according to the data. In one case, a 71-year-old requested entry for a 17-year-old spouse, and in another, a 68-year-old petitioned for a 16-year-old to come into the country. According to the Senate both requests were approved. Other approvals included a person age 55 petitioning for a 13-year-old and several people well into their 40s requesting spouses as young as 14 or 15 years of age. What is wrong with this damn world? Okay? No wonder R. Kelly had a fan base. Okay? No wonder R. Kelly had a fan base. It's crazy. It's goofy. It is totally goofy. I'm telling you, man. It is totally goofy. Hold up here. Give me a light. All right, cool. There you go. Got some weird things going on here. Lighting is kind of like a if particle here. It really is. There we go, baby. There we go. Right about now, it is lightly snowing out of my window. We probably won't get more than an inch at best. But it is 19 degrees out there, so I doubt seriously anybody's going to be looking for cigarette butts this morning. Oh, and another thing. The United States condemns child marriages overseas, but we're not taking steps to condemn it within our own borders. We sit up and shake our fingers at human rights violations, and here we've been committing human rights violations left and freaking right, and yet the World Court doesn't have the balls to bring us in court for it. Let's indict everybody from Jimmy Carter on up. That's right, every last one of them. Because if you allow this crap to happen, we're allowing, okay, the makers of Viagra to exist. Speaking of which, I got something for that in a minute. But anyway, okay, here it is. And I'm going to wrap this up here for you guys and whatnot. Reese says that as long as lawmakers fall between in addressing the issue, she will continue to press them. Quote unquote, I'm going to continue pushing and insisting that every state do what New Jersey and Delaware did, and that the federal government take basic steps to address the problems and stopping being implicit to actually encouraging child marriage. Come on, people, we see this crap on Facebook, we see this crap on social media on a day-to-day basis. Date women from out of Slovenia, date Russian women, date Asian women, okay? Some of these women are broken already, and they don't want to come here. They don't want to deal with Americans. They want to talk to you on the social media, and then making sure that you are talking to women. At least have them do a video conference instead of sending it to somebody that's sitting in Nigeria right about now, going, "Oh, I can't spell for crap, but at least I'm going to get this sucker to send me money." We're going to keep screaming until the federal government is not complicit in child marriages anymore. So she continued. It's 2019, for crying out loud. Child marriage is an ancient relic from our sexist past, and it doesn't have any place in our society except in places like Taiwan, overseas, anywhere in international waters where the law does not affect rich white men. You know what I mean? Think about it, people. Can't do this in the ghetto. They call it pimping. And what happens after that? You go wind up in jail. Okay? I mean, come on, brothers, come on. My Latino brothers and my African American brothers, or whatever you want to call yourselves. Think about this. Think about this. It is, you are going to jail and you're going to prison because your sexual activity says so. Your horniness says so. Really. And you're trying to break them in, right? Yet still, if you ain't got the money, you can't play. You can't play with the people who are across the country. You can't play with the ballers who set all that stuff up, who inadvertently give money to politicians so that way they're not looked at. Yeah, come on, y'all do it all the damn time. Prove me wrong. Halfway point, people. This is the KTNG Morning Show. That's right, the halfway point. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. There you go. Oh, damn, hold up, hold up. Where we at? Zoom, bing, bang, boom. There you go. Become a subscriber. As you can see right there on YouTube, the Art of Eve, Happy in a Big Bowl of Oranges, the mug, the book, okay? And on Facebook and whatnot, you guys can't see this, but on say like YouTube, I got this scrolling by. Become a supporter of free speech. Get a mug, people. Real cheap. It's like that. I'm going to be here to the end of the month before my office is actually reopened, refixed on. They're working on the tile. And also, I did sell some books. I did sell some books. Yes, indeed. Okay? Best thing you guys can do and so forth is to help somebody by getting the book, The Iron Tree. It is a story of perseverance and winning. It is. But you got to win here before you can win out there. And if you win your own heart, you can make it. So have faith about yourself. That's all. All right? Moving right along, babies. Moving right along. Woo! There we go. I love that. That is so funny. That is so funny. Okay, now. Okay, my people on YouTube, you get to see the big sign right here. KTNG860am.org, Unified Community Broadcasting, Talking Soul Radio for all of Colorado Springs and the world. Booyah! Zakir Mohammed. Good morning. Now, if you are on YouTube, and I'm going to do this on the halfway point. I'm going to be going from YouTube to my Patreon page. I also have a Patreon page. You can support me there as well. That's where the EBT Ghetto Chef is going on, and he also has the book he's still working on. But I have a big project that I got going on right now that is going to bring in thousands and hopefully thousands of dollars to do so. And if there are people in Colorado Springs, hit me up. Bingo bango. Friendo Garda, good morning. Thank you for coming through. Yay! Okay, now, moving right along, people. Moving right along. Now, remember, I told you guys about, I was talking about, how I was going to come back to a certain issue when it came to, the streaming and the screaming of money that we keep losing in this country. All right? Now, Cheeseburger, okay, is always crying about how the wall is going to make, America safe. We're going to stop the drug. We're going to stop the rapists. We're going to stop the killers. We're going to stop the terrorists. We're going to stop the drug dealers and everything. When I did a little research this morning and found it quite funny that people are quite ingenious if they want to get their business done. Good morning, yes. Okay, and here's the funny thing. What's to stop people from buying a 25-foot ladder to climb over the wall? What's to stop people from using drones to fly drugs over the border? What's to stop people to legally drive up to ports of entry and make that money happen? Then we have a drug crisis in America. Oh, people are dying, da-da-da-da-da. It's happening mostly in the white community, okay? I don't know too many black people or brown people. I know there's like heroin addicts. I don't know. Let's go down Skid Row. Anyway, business leader, meet the Sacklers, who are the cause of this freaking problem in America. Check this out. One of the richest families in America who built their $14 billion fortune off the controversial prescription drug Oxycontin. Yeah. Oxycontin. Wow. So these guys, the Sacklers, they've made $14 billion on poisoning people, on making sure that they can deliver money to the Republican Party. So therefore, the war on drugs is being funded by the same idiots who want you to stay sick in order for them to treat you. You see how this revolving thing goes? You make a drug, okay? You sell it to, say, like, private practices and families, and then the next thing you know, you're making a lot of money. And so you give to the government or Republican Party in which you do support, so that way your name stays out of the issue. Because people then become hooked on this stuff and they say, hey, it's better than heroin. Let me get some more of this. How can I get more of this? And so they wind up stealing. They become addicted. Sugar is twice as addicting. But yet still, there's nobody doing anything about that, right? Here you go. The Sacklers are one of the wealthiest families in the United States, but you've likely never heard of them. They might not have a name recognition like some of America's wealthiest families, such as the Waltons or the Rockefellers. Now, the Waltons are responsible for Walmart, okay? The Rockefellers, you already know. Don't even have to go into the Illuminati factor of this, okay? Now, the Sackler family, founded by Purdue Pharma, okay, which launched the drug in 1996. The original founding brothers, Raymond Sackler and Mortimer Sackler, died in 2010 and 2017, respectively. Their family still completely owns the company and shares of an estimated $14 billion fortune, according to Forbes. But as the New York Times noted, the exact number is not known, as Purdue Pharma is a private company. Ooh, okay. But in 2018, an investigation by The Atlantic found that the court documents showed that nearly $20 million payments to Arthur M. Sackler's estate in 1997 from the Purdue family of companies, suggesting that the descendants did benefit in some way from OxyContin. Now, here's a family that basically built an empire of pain. Vic McNewman, what's happening? Wu-Tang's at the house. What's up? Alrighty. Okay, and here's the sad part about it. Okay, here's the sad part about it. They have built an empire of pain. They have built an empire of dependency. They've also built a reluctancy by the federal government itself to do anything about it. Because Big Pharma is in the pocket of the Republican Party. Do you see now how this treadmill works, people? I'm hoping that in one particular case or another, that they can laugh, or that we can actually laugh about this war on drugs and really put it where it needs to be. Okay? Here's a simple thing. Okay? God is perfect, man is not. Man made whiskey, but God made pot. Okay? Stick to the natural stuff. Chemicals don't do you no good. We are natural physical beings. This is water and skin and bone and blood and flesh and everything. Why are we putting chemicals in ourselves? Why? Because it looks authentic? No. Look at the commercials, people. 95% of those damn commercials were, okay, if something is falling out of you, we got something that'll heal you, and plus, you'll bleed to death. Okay? 95% of them are based on, the physiology of a white person. They're not made for people of color. Trust and believe. All right? Now, at Yale University, where Raymond and Beverly Sackler, Institute for Biological, Physical, and Engineering Sciences, and the Richard Sackler and Jonathan Sackler Professorship of Internal Medicine, a $3.5 million endowment to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, they earned them the Sackler Wing. Wow. So not only can you get away with poisoning people, killing people, having people addicted to a substance that is not made for them physically. Food heals people. Nature heals nature. And if you help nature in a natural way, it can happen for you naturally. But if you must remain sick in order for them to treat you, you are falling in what is known as a garrulous trap. A garrulous trap of dependency. And wait a minute, that's right. Cheeseburger wants to end a lot of those social programs at the same time. Dink, dink, there you go. Boy, oh boy. Kind of sad. It kind of sucks though, because you have all this crap going on, okay? And Cheeseburger's responsible for most of Cheeseburger is now just advocating for a lot of this, okay? And that's what it really saddens me to no end. It really saddens me to no end that we as human beings are, either falling for it or not being cognizant of the fact that this stuff happens, and they're making it happen against you. We're supposed to be better than that, people. We're supposed to be better than that. We're supposed to be a little bit more attuned, a little bit more awoke. Unfortunately, no. Because we're still following the adventures of R. Kelly. Wow. We're following the misadventures of Cardi B. Wow. Like have they done anything for the community? Okay? There are a few hip-hop stars like Ludacris, like Lil Jon, cats who go out and put into the community that they came from. Secure their family with wealth. Secure their communities. Marshawn Lynch. You know what I'm saying? They're active. There are people that do stuff and whatnot that do help the communities that they came from. Either it's, education or, at least, for the most part, as they would say, drug counseling. Trying to break the systemic tide of rogue drugs falling into our neighborhoods. I mean, everybody learned it from the CIA when they brought crack into the black neighborhoods. I mean, now it's no longer crack. It's corporations who pollute, who make sure that, they keep those classes of people down in Detroit, in Cancer Alley in Louisiana. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in Indiana, it is now a federal problem. Oh, 20 of our children have cancer. Let's go back to some of the places that have been for decades been like, I guess, euthanized from ever having a voice whatsoever. Really? And they're still dying generation after generation till what? You have a dead zone there. Come on, people. Can you actually go fishing in anywhere around the Gulf of Mexico near Louisiana when you have dead water there? There's no fish, there's no life, there's no algae. And yet still we have a stupid president. For some reason, Cheeseburger doesn't believe in climate change or environmental disasters. But he just wants to make America great again. Yes, let's pump our racism. Let's pump our corporations. Let's make sure that the rich get wealthy and the poor get shafted. Robert, what's up? Good morning. Long time no see. I'm glad we cleared that, hacking thing up. Okay. Speaking of hacks, check this out. Guy from Yahoo News, he grew up in West Africa, never heard of MS-13, then fled to the United States, and ICE accused him of being a gang member. Wow. You come all the way from here, from West Africa, fleeing violence, okay? And a lot of people don't realize that the United States has a very sick 10 fingers of greed in the Congo to get what's underneath the damn land. But I'm glad that there are some places, say like in Zimbabwe or in Ghana, that are pushing the racist people off of their land. It belongs to the people that have been there longer than you. Okay? Give it back to those who have generationally held the land, who walked the land. We were the system of Bantu. We were the people, not these individual colonized factions that have you fighting for your life. You're fighting for your elections. Having what we call proxy wars between China, Russia, and the United States. For what reason? Oh, there's an ISIS problem down here. No, the ISIS problem started when John McCain said we would use ISIS to fight the Cold Wars against Russia. Yes, John McCain is burning in hell for that. The story goes like this. The first time, Youmbi, Roberto Nofor, heard of MS-13, it was from Cheeseburger himself. Now, the native of a remote grassfields region in Cameroon, Nofor spent the majority of his life more than 8,000 miles away from Los Angeles, the birthplace of Cheeseburger's favorite boogeyman, El Matra Satravocha, or MS-13, the notoriously violent street gang whose international presence is largely confined to the northern triangle countries of Central America, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador, because we put them there. Yes, we did, America. That's how we made things great. And then when this idiot starts screaming about, oh, there's a caravan coming, and you're living all the way in Minnesota and Montana, and you're scared to death, you're talking about, oh, we need to build a wall, we need to build a wall. And then you send these, militia people to, watch the Marines who are grossly misused. It's a gross misuse of the military to walk around and help this border control guard the border. Oh, that's right. The government shutdown means you guys are working for free. Anyway, Canada and a few cities around the United States, big freaking deal. However, none of that seemed to matter last year when, in a bid to prevent Nofor from obtaining asylum in the United States, attorneys in the United States Customs and Immigration Enforcement accused him of being an MS-13 member. Excuse me. Let me go back over this. Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. The man doesn't speak Spanish. He speaks an African dialect from Cameroon. And ICE tries to put him come on. What's next? I'm gonna walk down the street and ICE is gonna sit there and pull up on me like they're like the freaking Nazis? That happened to the Jews, dude. You're doing it here. This is the example I'm trying to point to you people, because if they get them, who's next on the platter? Who's next on the platter? I'm not going out like that. I'm looking for a gun. Come on, people. They can snatch them up just because not only is he black, not only is he from Cameroon, man doesn't even speak Spanish, but yet they accuse him of being an MS-13 member and try to hem him up. Let me see. Well, let's go. Let's find out here. An expert on gang symbology said his tattoos have nothing to do with MS-13. Nothing to do with MS-13. This is so sad. Okay. Far from an isolated incident, the charges made against him for providing an extreme example of what may happen, or what may happen to many immigration attorneys say is a significant increase in the number of gang allegations raised against immigrants on all types of proceedings, from bond attorneys to asylum requests to applications for green cards or citizenships. Now, let me go back to this one. See this if this does not have a comparison. This man is being held up by ICE because they think his tattoos have something to do with MS-13. Obviously, the federal government and the Department of Homeland Security are selling fear on this one. They are. Now, remember Barbecue Becky and all the fearful white people that decided to call police on black people for doing mundane things? Y'all have lost your damn minds. This is a two-way street for viruses. It is. You have the virus of the American public being scared to death because some damn cheeseburger is telling you. And then you have the viral effect of the federal government saying, okay, there's bad guys out there. You better go get them if they so much as resemble anything that looks like they could be part of MS-13. Arrest them. Profiling. The law of suspicion went down in the United States Supreme Court and Clarence Thomas signed off on it. Yes. You can look like you're suspicious on any given grounds and get snatched up if they can't check you. So what if you can speak English good? So what if you happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time in the wrong neighborhood? The FBI can roll up on your ass just like that, just for making comments about somebody's mayor, whoever that may be. All right? Please, miss me with this. Miss me with this, because this is a grievance of what we call justice. There is no rule of thumb in this land that says that you cannot be snatched off the street for any particular reason whatsoever. And they can do that with impunity. The Nazis did that to the Jews. Now they bought this particular Minecraft garbage here. So many of you can't read or write for whatever reasons, at least you're trying to make it look apparent. Really? Come on, people, come on. If we don't learn to fight these instances of, sectarian racism like this, then 9 times out of 10, we're going to wind up being behind the 8 ball each and every time. No pun intended. Woo. Okay. Oh my God. But though the way Navarro sought asylum is often referred to by Homeland Security Secretary Kristen Nielsen and others as the right way, immigrants who present themselves at an official court of entry and express a fear of returning to their home country are still sent directly to immigration detention. Okay? So you escape a country that says, we're having all kinds of wars. We're going to kill your family. And we're going to make sure that, if you don't join us, then you're going to die. Well, I'll give you another story here. Maybe you guys will warm up to that one later. I'll post it up for you so that you can see it. 10 years ago, Political Magazine, 10 years ago, fear for my life, I escaped the military in Mexico to seek asylum in the United States. My ordeal was just beginning. Now, who could this be? Is this somebody who basically just said, oh, hey, there's got to be a reason for all of this fear mongering that Cheeseburger's putting out there, so that way everybody can actually go for it? change the laws, change the policies. When diversity in this country actually does work, people progress. But if you fear a black planet, then make sure you understand that there are more people with brown eyes than there are blue. There in Espanol, in the summer of 2008, I got a warning from the Mexican military about to ambush me. The warning came from a school teacher in the northern town of La Ascensión. I wasted no time wondering if it was real. To be a journalist on the wrong side of the authorities in Mexico is not a safe place to be. In the middle of the night, I fled with my teenage son, Oscar. We headed for a ranch about 17 miles from our home in Chihuahua called La Virgencita, the Little Virgin, where they gave us shelter. I found it hard to believe that we had left our home forever, but our priority was to survive. The only way I could see was to claim political asylum in the United States. That was our shot at life. Okay? It's kind of dangerous when the military doesn't like journalists. Why? Because they're corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely people, but then when you have the might of the military, you can corrupt anybody you want. Even the police department down there is corrupt. I'm low. Do your damn job, dude. 2 days later, I decided to travel through the desert of the border checkpoint 38 miles away from Antelope Wells, New Mexico. It was the closest crossing point and therefore the fastest route to escape the prowling military. Today, I am one of many hundreds of asylum seekers uncertain of my future in this country. A judge will decide my fate in the coming weeks. My long escape to freedom began several years before the desperate ride across the desert, and I reported for my local newspaper, El Darriel. The soldiers had taken over the hotel and were robbing migrants. The article, which quoted complaints from the town's mayor, was titled, "Demands to Stop Impunity." Several days after it published, I got a visit from a general in the army. "So you're the son of a bitch who's been writing these stupidities." Wow. With my son waiting in the pickup nearby, the general and several armed men surrounded me. "You have written 3 articles," he said, "about my coverage about the robberies, and there won't be a 4th. I avoided writing about the military after that, but in May of 2008, soldiers came at me again. A little after midnight, they kicked down my door and ransacked my home. They said they were looking for drugs and weapons, acting on the anonymous tip, but they didn't have a search warrant. Of course, they found nothing like that. On their way out, one of the officers told me to behave. When I heard a few weeks later from my friend, the school teacher who had a family member in the military, that my name was on a hit list, I feared that the next visit from the military would be my last. On the morning of mid-June, we had breakfast with our friends at La Virgencita and departed in my ramshackle sputtering car. An hour later, my son Oscar and I were at the border. "What are you bringing from Mexico?" the immigration official asked dryly. "We bring fear." "What do you want?" "Political asylum." But then comes the rude awakening. "Jason Anthony, good morning. You crazy man." That's right. That's my aesthetic brother and so forth, all the way out there in New York, who's suffering in Brooklyn right about now. Yes, I look at your anecdotes every day. Okay? All right, so here's this guy, gets his son out of there, and then, he winds up in an internment. The only people that need to be internment for their bull on immigration is the one who says there's bad hombres coming. There's a caravan of 15,000 more coming. There's more fear coming from the southern borders. Let's face it, people. This population of the white male sperm is happening. And it's going to get lower and lower and lower as they keep pushing for their neo-feudism to be the top kings and the queens and the landlords. All to make sure that you, my good friends, are subjugated under their will. But we can stand up and we can fight that. The best way to fight that, people, is to organize. Organize your communities to go against the corporations that pollute your societies as well as your communities into death, generation after generation after generation. How often are you going to continue to keep burying family members until there's no one to bury you? Well, that's right. The poor, you get state-assisted burnings. Put you in the oven and make ash out of you. Who pays for that bill? Those bills come up, people. Those bills come up, and somebody at the asset of your family is going to wind up paying for that cremation. Also, you got to have some real good ideology on how to fix a lot of other problems, such as how do we stop Cheeseburger from asking for a damn wall when he knows it's impractical? People have imaginations. People can think. People can maneuver. Come on, we all know the Parliament song. Okay? One nation under a groove. Straight up. So low you can't get under it. For real, man, come on. We are sitting up here thinking. I mean, we're actually thinking that if they put a beautiful wall with this idiot's face on it, it's going to deter them. No, the wall that needs to be put up is the prison that Cheeseburger needs to be in. He needs to be arrested. He needs to be, well, shooting is too good. Serving time in prison, he's going to be another part of a problem of people aging in prison. It costs twice as much for a senior citizen in prison than it does for somebody that's, within age. Okay? You got somebody in there that's 20 years old and they're going to get out in 30 years. They'll be 50. If they got 2, 3, to 9 times in life sentences and whatnot, guess what? They're going to be there until they're like 100 years old. Costs a lot of money, doesn't it? So I guess our best bet is to give them what we would call an Italian shoe job. Find us like a nice sized bucket, put some concrete, stuff this fucker in it, toss them into the Hudson River with all the rest of the goombas out there. You'll be right at home. But then again, the Russian mafia might just decide to say, hey, Donnie, pay up. I'm going to do it with American money. Why do you think he's been washing money for Russians? And now all of a sudden the oligarchs are like slowly disappearing. Even that pop star that hung out with Cheeseburger is running away. It's not only Mitch McConnell, but everybody around Cheeseburger is basically stepping back. Because this man is toxic. This man is virus. This man is a disease on this country. And for you stupid, idiotic, Republican, MAGA hat idiots, Mueller ain't going anywhere. MAGA. Got it? Good. Get it again. 8/16/19, people. That's my joke for the rest of the year until we get there. I'll tell you that when we get there. Anyway, I got to get out of here. Let me say good morning to all the rest of you people that's out there fishing on everything. Let's see. Also, good morning to Prince Malloy. Walter Jenkins, good morning. Helen Jackson, good morning. I know, baby, was sitting in the hospital with her allergies. Mark Briggs, good morning. Walter was Whitey, good morning. Also, let's see, my crew back here. Cool-headed crew. Everything, good morning. As well as Jackie Bear, Milton Bear. And it is fluffy snowing right about now. Anyway, also, I want to say good morning to, get this out of the way here. This is so much. Andre, Dr. Dre Brown, good morning. Richard Clark, good morning. People better watch out. This man is crazy. Eddie Davis, good morning. Oh, yes. Eva Santiago, good morning. All smiles around. Gloria Anderson, good morning. Nina Henderson, good morning. Tom Baker, good morning. Let's see. Jessica Earn, good morning. Nina Harris, good morning. Dottie-dee-doo-doo. Jay Kwan, good morning with your crazy self. And, oh, wow. Huey Lewis, after losing his ears and so forth, is now signing a new deal. That's funny. Okay. Also, Love Says Shauna, good Lord, good morning. You are too funny. Joshua Carrasco out in Florida, good morning. Kill him with kindness, bro. Kill him with kindness. Hold up for a second. Also, AOC, good morning. That's right. I requested a friendship with her. Also, oh my God. Let's see. Dazia Edo, good morning. That's right. Nigel Daring. I said good morning to Professor Nigel Daring. Muhammad Islam, good morning. Also, Naliswe Rastakazi Vilakazi, good morning. Okay. If I'm butchering your name, I'm terribly sorry. Let's see. Mapenzi, good morning. Luke Cage, Powerman, good morning. Robert Griffin, good morning. Joe Henry, good morning. Justin Harris, good morning. Jamie Manton, good morning. My brother all the way across the pond. Super Duper Heidi Zulu, good morning. Hope everything is going well. Anthony Mason, good morning. Bridget Larkins, good morning, my doppelganger. Also, and Glenn Covington, good morning. I know my brother is getting married in April, so I'm saying congratulations now in case I forget. So I'm paying it forward. See how easy that was? Wow. Hakana Tune, good morning. Wu-Tang. Ain't nothing to fuck with. Da, 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 da. Also, Tanner Mason, good morning. Oh, God. You guys are just goofballs. But I love your families and so forth, and keep them going. Make sure that they're aware. Yolanda Hubbard, good morning. Peace up. What's up? Okay. And let's see. One last one here. Skyski Rio, good morning wherever you're at. You can consider good morning all the way around the world, upon and across the world. Good morning in Japan. Domo domo. Good morning in China. Ni hao. Good morning in Kazakhstan, where I got some music from. Bulgaria, good morning. Belgium, good morning. Let's see. West Africa, good morning. Zimbabwe, good morning. Ghana, good morning. Nairobi. That's right. Your hidden prince is still missing you. Okay. Good morning, my people in Canada. Good morning, my people in Australia. Good morning, my people in New Zealand. Good morning, my people in Hawaii. Good morning, Paul Martin, Jennifer Reed Martin, all my Martins that are not farting. Good morning. And, of course, good morning to the entire 500,000 crew that we are getting there. 450 people who like what we do here. Thank you so much. Make sure you do get your copy of the book itself, The Iron Tree. It is selling fast on Kindle. And that proves a lot of things that, yes, I can tell a story. But I tell a good one. So, in this particular sense, people, I got to get out of here. Keep in mind, people, that all you have to do in this life is make sure that you are happy. And to do that, you just have to put a smile on somebody's face. I try my best with this news crap that's going on right about now. But not only that, but also share your happiness with individuals so that way we all stay connected. The more we laugh, the healthier we become. And the more we stay away from the chemical crap, the longer we live. For real. Now, I got to get out of here. Simulcast on Facebook and YouTube. This has been the KTNG Morning Show. I've been your host, the Grits Man, bidding you love, peace, and chicken grease. And of course, all power to the people, or people. Purpose. Make sure you have a purpose. Because if you don't, you're nothing but a damn junkie. Peace!